Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. There's been a lot of pretty crazy news surfacing in the Call of Duty world over the course of the past couple of weeks. We of course have seen several new leaks and rumors surface regarding Call of Duty 2022, aka MW2 or MW 2022. We've also seen some leaks regarding COD 2023 even, and even crazier than that, we got word that Xbox and Microsoft are planning to purchase Activision Blizzard, which would basically give Xbox and Microsoft full control over all Activision Blizzard titles, including Call of Duty, which has sparked a plethora of speculation and rumors regarding the future of COD, including one major one that would be completely franchise altering and ideally much better for every single future Call of Duty game. And it could start with the release of COD 2022 Modern Warfare 2. So pretty interesting conversation today, if I do say so myself, as we go over it all. If you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And of course, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. That way you can always guarantee we're up to date with everything going on in COD. So recently there's been a couple of different articles that have stemmed from this whole Microsoft and Xbox buying Activision ordeal. One's from Bloomberg, and we also recently covered this in a previous video, but I wanted to sort of bring it up again here and reiterate it because it does sort of add to the larger conversation that we've got going on today. And the other one is from the Washington Post, which also kind of piggybacks off this initial one from Bloomberg. But basically, Charlie Intel tweeted this out saying, Bloomberg is reporting that high-level employees at Activision have discussed moving away from the annual release schedule, according to two people familiar with the discussions. Although nothing's been finalized yet, there is belief among many Call of Duty developers that releasing games at a slower cadence will please players and help bolster the franchise. So basically what they're saying is, if we stopped doing yearly releases, our games would be better when they actually release. The players would like it more. The games would sell better because of that. It'd be a win-win for everyone involved, the players and the devs. The devs don't have these ridiculous turnaround times to pump out a game that's broken and buggy and has glitches galore. And in turn, the players, while they don't have a new COD to look forward to every single year, when they do have a new COD, it is good, it is polished, it is finished. Like I said, we talked about this in a video earlier on last week, actually, talking about how this big rumor is going around now of stopping yearly releases. The thing is, though, that's not happening this year with MW 2022 or COD 2022. We know that's on its way this fall. Also, this whole Microsoft and Xbox taking over Activision deal isn't being put in place until summer of 2023 at the earliest, pending any delays along the way or any other interruptions or things like that. Which also means that COD 2023 will be well into its developmental cycle, almost done by the time that this deal goes into action, and there'll only be a few months before it would theoretically release in fall of 2023, right? However, at least looking at previous COD games, specifically MW 2019, there were so many arguments for that game having a lifespan beyond just 2019 to 2020 and not releasing Cold War and having MW 2019 live on for at least another year, then these other games would have more time to be developed with Cold War and with Vanguard. And I mean, looking back at both of these launches, while Vanguard definitely launched in a better state than Cold War, it's clearly struggling now in recent times after the Season 1 update and everything. A lot more time to be worked on prior to it launching probably could have resolved that, and especially with Cold War, that game did not feel like a finished COD at all. It felt very much like a copy and paste remastered game from a previous Black Ops installment, because there was just so much repeat content and just a general lack of content to start things off. So both of those games I feel like would have heavily benefited from MW 2019 sticking around for at least another year. And clearly, if we look back at Modern Warfare 2019, there was so much that seemed to be planned beyond year one that was either scrapped or just sort of drip fed to us over the course of the following months after Cold War's release. We look back, we had things like the CX-9, which was one of the most highly anticipated weapons in all of MW 2019. That didn't release until a random week in Cold War's life cycle. Same deal with the RAL LMG, and same deal with SOAP, which is probably one of the most disappointing parts, because that would have been a massive part of the overall storyline that was incredibly well done between Modern Warfare 2019's campaign and then Spec Ops and ultimately Warzone and all the intel there. They kind of just had this whole awesome story and then had to drop it all because Cold War was released and it was no longer the priority story and the priority lore going on. So you had that initial content that was released but had no real purpose behind it other than, hey, here's the content that we would have had going on in the season 7, let's say, if, you know, we would have been able to do a year 2 of MW. They also had all these other operators and things that were scrapped, it seems like, during the dev cycle, because we had all these leaks pretty early on into MW 2019 about a bunch of operators, a bunch of maps, a bunch of weapons being introduced. We're talking like Marshawn Lynch even, and obviously none of that came to the game. It was just scrapped because they just didn't have a purpose to put it out or a means to put it out because they were no longer focusing on MW 2019. Cold War was front and center. So focusing back on the main conversation here, looking to the future, MW 2022, according to that Bloomberg report, by the way, Call of Duty, despite not even officially revealing the game or, even announcing COD 2022 yet, is already saying this game is expected to be one of the best-selling Call of Duties of all time, similar to MW 2019. They are putting all their marbles, all their attention, all their focus on MW 2022, because it's going to be huge. So, you look forward to Treyarch's 2023 title, what's supposed to be Treyarch's 2023 title right now, considering a good portion of the Zombies team is currently working on Vanguard for the Zombies aspect there, that's already, focus being taken away from that future Call of Duty. You also have a lot of reports with everything going on at Activision and all the issues going on behind the scenes at some of the studios and Activision themselves interfering with certain things as well. There's already going to be barriers in the dev process for COD 2023. It's possible that gets pushed back. Maybe not by a full year, but at least by, a couple of months, a quarter, maybe half a year. Now, like I said earlier, there's also a separate article from Washington Post, and Charlie Intel also reported on this. This one says, Toys for Bob, which is one of the studios working under the Activision Blizzard banner, successfully launched games like Crash Bandicoot, but was later folded into supporting Call of Duty games. Basically, as we know right now, every Activision studio is working on Call of Duty in some capacity. Phil Spencer said that the Xbox team would like to talk with those developers about working on a variety of franchises from the other Activision Blizzard vaults, things like Guitar Hero and some of those old Activision IPs that are no longer around. They'd be curious to take some of these studios off of Call of Duty, giving more focus back onto those main devs, Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, Raven, Beanox, letting them do their thing in whatever amount of time they need to get it done right, and have these other studios focus on other IPs. Not having everyone from Activision working on these COD games also points towards not releasing COD games every single year. Yeah, you wouldn't have as many people working on the game, hence why it wouldn't be pumped out in, 365 days consecutively. Instead, you'd have the core team working on it as hard as they can, but not, forcing a deadline there. So COD 2022 MW2, with all the hype, with all the massive expectations this has following off of MW 2019, I feel like would be the best COD to start this non-yearly cycle on. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, or whatever they end up calling it, MW 2022, has the chance to be the first COD in many years, well over a decade, that has more than 1 year of support. Now, obviously, if you look back, Black Ops 3 had, new DLC weapons and stuff going on well into Infinite Warfare's life cycle, because Infinite Warfare was not well received, but Infinite Warfare was still the main game, right? This could not be the case, though, moving forward into 2023. If fall of 2023, we might not see a new COD game release, and instead, MW2 could be seeing some more massive expansions. Now, a lot of players' main concern here is that, yes, I would happily play a COD game for more than just 1 year if it was, polished, if it was running well, if it was optimized and it was content. They'd have to change how they structure things, because right now, the way we look at it, there's always 5 to 6 seasons. Every season has its set content, a couple of operators, a couple of weapons, sometimes some map changes. Basically, what you'd have to do is turn up the heat on all the content releases and either make that content more spread out across 2 to 3 months per season, or you'd have to have bigger and better content updates with massive game-changing, elements. Things that change the map, things that add in long-term content and not stuff that's just meant to last for a couple of months until the new season arrives, right? They'd have to have more impactful seasonal content and post-launch content to really survive 2 years and keep that player base up, and also keep sales numbers up as well. So it'd be more effort going in all around, both for the launch to make sure the game's polished and ready, but also all throughout the future content seasons as well, to make sure stuff can actually sustain an active player base, which in theory should work if you don't have those constant deadlines that are a little bit too extreme to keep things up at the pace that obviously we the players would like things to be at. So this whole acquisition of Activision Blizzard with Microsoft could be a huge game-changing thing for COD, will be a huge game-changing thing for COD, and it might start this year despite the deal not fully being in place yet. MW 2019 really was the game to experiment with a 2-year life cycle. Now I think MW 2022 is going to be that next best option, and it could ultimately change the way that Call of Duty is released and scheduled forever, which is, like I said, a franchise-altering thing that hopefully is going to be for the better. I think it'll be better for the players. I think it'll be better for the devs as well. As I mentioned earlier, everyone wins. But that is going to wrap things up for today. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Really curious to see what you guys think about this whole idea of having MW 2022 around for multiple years, dropping this yearly cycle. I know we talked about it all previously, but going a bit more in depth here with this one. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips. It is all right here. So feel free to subscribe with your notifications turned on. And as always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code WhosImmortal for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. And the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thanks so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.